Here again. Extremely, we're a disappointed football team right now, but did not play up to our standard on Saturday. Give West Georgia all the credit. They made the plays that we didn't, and we've got to protect the ball better. We've got to play better, and that's what we started focusing on last night. We just got to stay together, and that's kind of the motto of us. It's our family. It's what we do. So. I'm looking for us to bounce back this week and play a lot better. We need to. It's a tough opponent coming up at West Alabama, and it's a big game late in the season. But it's like I told everybody we talked about last night as a family. It's October 20th today, and we still control our own destiny. So we've got to keep that in mind and continue to improve, and that's what we're going to work on this week. So that being said, what you got?
As far as the turnovers, can you address that issue? And I know the week before you had to overcome that as well, but just talk a little about that aspect and how that has kind of hampered you guys somewhat.
That's a big key of it. It's not the only key. We're correct. When you turn the ball over, people just think, well, the quarterback threw it here, shouldn't have thrown it there, and it's not always the case. It's route running, it's protection up front, all those things factor in. And, we turned the ball over, and that was obviously huge, but our overall execution has not been where it needs to be. And we got to get back to executing the way we were early in the year. And that's what we're going to focus on. Because when we're executing and we're focused, we've been protecting the football. So, ball's shaped funny, and sometimes it bounces the wrong way. We're just going to keep working ball security drills, keep talking to quarterbacks about making good decisions with the ball, and keep two hands on it in traffic. And that's about all we can do at this point. Play through this stuff, and like I said, last night we got through watching film, said that game's over. It's just how are we going to learn from that game? How are we going to learn from what we've done here in the last couple of weeks, and go from there.
Coach, the saying goes you learn more from losses than you do from wins. Is there any adage to that point?
Hope so. Hope we learn a lot. But here's the thing that I think we got. We got a bunch of guys in there. We got great leaders in our field house. We got great leaders. They took over last night. They're hurting. I'm hurting. Everybody's hurting. We're ready to just get to the practice field tomorrow, get it out of our system, and try to start doing something. That's what you want to do as a football player. You want to get back on the field. But we know we got to wait because today's our day off, and we weren't going to practice last night after a long bus ride home. But I'm proud of the way that our leaders and the way our whole football family has stepped up, and they're down like they should be, but they're not out by any stretch of imagination. We're going to bounce back. We're going to play better.
In these particular moments, it's so important to have short-term memory and just forget about what happened and move forward. I mean, that's what makes you more successful. Do you think your guys have that characteristic?
I do, but I think I don't think that's going to happen until probably tomorrow afternoon. It's just the way it is. This team expects so much of itself, and we had a setback, and it happens, and that's what you learn in all of athletics, especially in the game of football. You get knocked down, get back up, and but I think we will still keep thinking about it until tomorrow at practice when we really start focusing on somebody else. And so we're really looking forward to tomorrow.
Second straight year you lose to West Georgia.
Uh-huh.
Is it just a matter of their scheme or
No.
talent level? Can you just talk
No,
about
it's a matter of turning the ball over 5 times and not executing. That's what it was a matter of. We didn't play well down there. That's 2 years in a row we haven't played well down there. We'll get that figured out the next time we go down there. But we don't have to worry about that. Hey, I'd love to go back down there this year. That means we're in the playoffs. But next time we go down there, we'll address it. But we just didn't play well. It had nothing to do with their scheme. There was things open, both sides of the ball. Our defense played hard. Our offense, we felt like left some points out there on the board. Obviously, we were 3 of 7 in the red zone. We turned the ball over. We didn't play well, and that's got to be addressed. And that's, like I said, I'm not taking anything away from West Georgia. They forced those turnovers. They made plays when we didn't. They played like their hair was on fire. We didn't. We didn't play the way that we know how we can play, but we're going to play better. And we're excited about this week and Saturday night.
Coach, I think the biggest difference this weekend was those points off turnovers. West Georgia had 21, you guys had none. That's the second meeting where you guys have not been able to create points off turnovers. Is that something that's kind of frustrating as a coach?
Mm-hmm. It is. It is. It's frustrating.
This week's opponent, can you just talk a little about
Yeah,
West Alabama?
great football team. Two-time defending Gulf South Conference champions, playing us at homecoming. They just came off a 55-10 victory at Shorter last Thursday, so they've had a lot more time to get prepared for us. I know they're going to be fresh. I think their quarterback's a dynamic player. He was Gulf South Conference Player of the Year last year, and Kyle Caldwell, he's a senior. I think he's got their touchdown pass record now. He broke that the other night. And they're very dangerous on defense. They're going to give us multiple looks. They're going to bring pressures. They're going to do those things. On offense, they run triple option. They'll spread you out. So they have a lot of different things. So it's all about getting prepared for them. But at the main thing right now is for us, we got a tough opponent. We understand that. It's about us right now. It's about us getting back focused and taking care of the ball like we were talking about and doing the little things that got us to the point where we had won some games this year, and that's what we're going to try to get back to. All right. Thank y'all so much.
Rory, how good did it feel to be back on the field last week?
It was great to be back on the field. Obviously, I didn't get to play against Shorter. It was the first time I hadn't got to play in my career. You know, it was a lot different. You know, just being on the sidelines and having to be just kind of to pump up the hype man and not being able to really to do anything. But it was definitely a real humbling experience, and I learned a lot from it, you know. But made me, not like I didn't appreciate football before, but I think it made me appreciate everything a little bit more. Not so much the game, but, you know, just the little things like practice and being with being out there with the guys. And, you know, I'm a senior, I don't have a lot of games left, and just don't take anything for granted, any snap, you know.
As far as this past weekend, kind of put your finger on the pulse right now of the team as far as the mental aspect. Where do you guys stand after suffering your first loss?
We're definitely, like I said, real humbling experience, and but I mean, everybody's just ready to get back to work, you know, ready to put that not so much just put it past us like it didn't happen, because it did happen. We did lose, you know, and we expect a lot more to lose, you know, than just to go out there and lose. But like I said, we're just ready to get back on the field and ready to be back out there, ready to fix the things, you know, ready to move forward and push positive energy towards another win, you know, get back on the right track.
And as Coach alluded to earlier, your opponent this week, yet another tough road game for you. Just talk a little about the challenge that awaits you trying to win at West Al, night game, homecoming.
That's right.
You guys got a lot of obstacles in your way.
Well, like you said, when anybody schedules you for their homecoming, you want to get a win, you know, because it's almost kind of disrespectful in a sense to me, you know. But West Alabama's a good opponent. I played against their quarterback, number 4. This will be the 3rd time playing against him, so, you know, I've got all the respect in the world for him. He's a great player. And, I mean, they run the triple option pretty much about every formation you can run it from, so everybody just needs to do their job and play hard and get a win.
Rory, you guys had some major injuries to that linebacker core. You come back, and now all of a sudden there's a lot more experience than there was maybe the start of the season. How big is that for you guys?
Experience is good just because, you know, you've got people that have been there before, and kind of when our back's against the ropes, you got those guys with that experience and that can just have been there before and can kind of try to push through things. So it's good to have experience. The linebacker core, it's good to have experience everywhere. But we do have experience, you know, on our defense. And, I mean, I know we have young guys in some areas, but it's not like they haven't played in Gulf South Conference games before.
And having that experience, how do you motivate sort of the underclassmen coming off after a loss?
That, you know, this is the year right now, you know. So not so much of our guys, but some people think, you know, I'm just a freshman or just a sophomore. I've got more years to do these things, but, you know, maybe this is the only year that you're going to have the puzzle put together, you know, the exact pieces to put together. So just not taking anything for granted and taking every play and every snap and every drill and just going as hard as we can and moving forward from this loss.
Rory, going back to last week, Tyler talked about how one of the big things of the shorter game was you went up to him and told him, hey, this is what kids kind of dream of. Is that something that you kind of noticed that you yourself maybe taking on a little bit more of a responsibility, a little bit more of a mentor kind of role towards, I mean, this is your last season.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. You just get to this point where you've done this. You've done this. I played, 3 good seasons, in the GSC where I've actually contributed a lot, and the people know that. And so, I mean, I've been there before. So, I mean, it's really just, I think, when I tell somebody something, they, can respect it because I actually have been there. It just means a little bit more, So when I tell things to Tyler, when I tell things to our younger safeties or stuff like that, or the D-line, it's just that respect factor of, okay, this guy's actually has been here before, he's played here,
Richard, how big is the stretch for you guys? You're playing a West Georgia team, a West Alabama team, and then North Al, all in a row. How tough is that for you guys, all 3 games in a row?
It's tough, but I mean, it's the Gulf South Conference, so you kind of expect it. We knew the schedule from day one, so we just we got to take every game one game at a time. Don't look ahead, and just focus on the task at hand, and that's West Alabama.
Can you talk a little about the fact that there's really right now no margin left for error coming down the stretch because perhaps another loss might knock you out of the GSC race and maybe out of playoff contention. Is that kind of the mindset now, guys? We can't afford another setback.
I say yeah, but no as well, because want to go into the game super uptight and we don't want to get away from doing things that we do, just being ourselves. So we just got to keep doing what we've been doing and just get back to the drawing boards and everybody pitch in and do their part and eliminate all selfishness and get back rolling how we were.
It's been the reaction now that you suffered the first loss of the season. I know sometimes teams could somewhat put their heads in the sand, so to speak, and mope and continue to dwell on a loss. But how have you guys handled this first loss of the season just 2 days afterwards?
I mean, we're still trying to get over it. It was a tough loss and a very disappointing loss. I mean, we're hurt, obviously, but like I said, we can't dwell on it. We just got to learn from it. We watched film last night, and coaches made corrections, and we just got to go out there and correct them this week in practice and just take it from there.
Richard, you had 17 tackles over the weekend. When was the last time you had 17 tackles in a game?
Never. It was my first time ever actually doing that. I was just trying to run to the ball and step up and be a leader out there. I knew it was going to be a dogfight game, as everybody else did as well. So, I mean, I wouldn't say I was just better than anybody else out there. I was just trying to, help the team win.
And after watching that film, you said you guys needed to make corrections. What do you think are the biggest corrections you need to make?
Just doing your job. Just everybody doing their own job, not trying to make anyone else's play. Just do your assigned job and then run to the ball. Stuff we've been preaching since day one, and we've been doing it in the past weeks, but this week it finally hurt us, and we just got to eliminate it from here on out.
One other question about just travel. You guys have had some long travels this year, back on the road again. Has that taken an effect at all on the team at all? Just, each week it just seems like every other week somewhat seems like you guys are on the road, another long trip.
Nah, we actually like, surprisingly, I mean, everybody likes playing on the road versus at home. I mean, we usually have more life on the road. So, I mean, we just embrace it and we look to go just whoop up on people in their backyard. Unfortunately, we didn't do that this past weekend, but we look to get back to doing that starting with West Alabama.
Richard, the past 2 weeks has been kind of tough sledding for the offense. The defense has really done a great job to keep them in it. How big is that for you guys to kind of have that in your back pocket? You guys are playing some of your best football right now, the defensive spot.
It's real big. I mean, a lot of a lot of people talk about our offense and how high powered it is. It's just a confidence builder. You know, we go against our offense every day, so I mean that gives us confidence every day in practice. But when we're peaking right now at the right time, apparently, so as long as we keep that going, we'll be fine and just get back to doing what we've been doing since day one.
And going back on how you mentioned that you guys like being on the road, you know, I'm sure that it builds a lot of camaraderie between you guys. Sort of talk about like the brotherhood that you build while you're on the road.
Yeah, we have a lot of memories. We're making a lot of memories. Making a lot of memories on the road. Guys just being relaxed and enjoying their teammates. I mean, like Rory said, he's not the only senior on this team, but it's a lot of guys senior year. So we're just enjoying the moment, not trying to look ahead, and just trying to stick together as one big family.
Any other questions for Richard? Well, we appreciate it.